Romeo voted, and it is wake up, wake up. We are rolling out AM wake up call. This is your day. It is a place to stay. So tune in to all of what we have to say. Good morning, 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 morning to you. Sun is shining nice and bright. Birds are chirping.
The sun is shining, shining, nice and bright, bright. The birds are chirping, chirping, and I'm excited. Time to get ready, ready for another day. Hey, no one can stop us. Oh, we gon' learn to play. Oh, every day we learn and play. We do our best, so we'll be great. Oh, 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 oh. You do your best, best. And I do mine. So let's get ready, ready, ready. 'Cause it's about that time. Good morning, morning, you. Good morning, how do you do? Good morning, time to be great. Good morning, good morning, your best to play. Good morning, so start today. Good morning, open your eyes. Good morning, reach for the sky. Good morning, 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 morning to you. Good morning, 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 how do you do? Good morning, 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 morning to you. Good morning, 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 how do you do? Good morning. You see me on my grind. Woo, stars got to shine. I'm a supernova. Yeah, you see me taking over. Yeah, I'm on the move. I got a way to shine to it. So let me hear you say, every day we
Go work and play. Hey, hey, it's your day. It's rolling out AM. We're coming your way. There's nothing you can do but pay attention to the day. Don't lose hope. It's on its way. What's going on, everybody? Romeo International voted.
I voted
He
yesterday.
voted.
I had the best experience voting yesterday. Came through, went in. I think they had like 20 or so stations that they were wiping down and cleaning as people were leaving. The people were very nice. And people were excited in my area. People were excited to vote. Now, when I got home and went live with the Rolling Out family on Instagram, a young lady from Texas checked in, a lady from Chicago checked in, LA checked in, and people were excited. Now, I don't know what happened when they started pulling up that map on CNN, but they was excited.
The Electoral College, man, it just drives me bonkers every time, every election. And I feel like it's not until election night that it's this map of who's going to get the 270. And I'm like,
the race to 270.
But I think, what did it say? 7 out of the 8 last elections all was Democrat, but that was not necessarily the case on who actually became the president-elect.
You mean the popular vote, right?
Yeah, popular vote.
Mm-hmm. I mean, socially, a lot of people were excited. I think it's confusing when you aren't able to fully being able to explain to people how the votes work. Mm-hmm. And I watched it. Like I actually watched it I watched it from like 3 p.m. to about 9. Mm-hmm. And hey, this state did this at this percentage of this, but this over here, I'm not trying to hear that. I need to know what it's doing, where it's going. Don't show me the past. I don't really care about what Hillary Clinton did. Show me what's going on right now. I think people need to have a better understanding of voting. I really think that
it's not nothing in school at all.
Not at all. Not
taxes, voting. What does it mean? What is House of Representatives? What is the Senate? What is an electoral college? You don't have those type of conversations. They're too busy teaching Independence Day. We passed that.
Well, it's a good thing that the absentee ballots are still getting counted. Some of the political pundits on CNN are saying they favor Joe Biden. The good thing about that is that all of the in-person voting, the counting for that has stopped. and that did favor Trump. So we're looking to get some of these votes counted for the absentee ballots to see where we end up. And they're saying that it's a good thing because it's favoring Biden.
Mm-hmm.
How does this become easier? Because I'm not saying that the way of voting is stupid. I'm just saying the way of voting is outdated. You know, people are sending in ballots. People are coming in to vote in person. People email people.
Have they started the counting? I don't know, because they probably would have said they were cheating or whatnot. I think have they started the counting before Election Day, just to get an idea of where we stand. I think that would have helped, but some of the states haven't even started counting.
Right.
Pennsylvania said they not. Is it Pennsylvania?
Pennsylvania said we won't know till Friday.
And then New Jersey came out and said they wasn't counting theirs until November 10th.
New Jersey is
that
marijuana though.
Like, and that goes back to my point. What's the actual rule? Like, is there a system to this voting thing? Like,
but both those things, what Tierra Berry is really speaking to is localization and what's happening on the ballot that affects. So brothers now won't be arrested for, oh, I had 2 joints and you pulled me over and now got arrested. So some of those things are definitely weighing on. I think they're not going to change the Electoral College at this moment. We didn't control the Senate. Don't look like this one. It's going to actually flip, holding on to the House of Representatives, it appears. So those are good things. But I think the other thing, Romeo, I'm not necessarily with Miss Berry because she is so intelligent. Just our conversations just can be late. Like, you know, our community just has to stay on this moment. And we've got to understand we got our own movement going on. So, right. You know, let's not understand. We still want justice for Breonna Taylor. We still want those individuals that murdered Ahmaud Arbery to go to prison. And we want justice for our community. So we've got an agenda. We need to make sure that voting is a practice for our community. And that we love ourselves in the process. And I think there's a real challenge to that consciousness. So we can choose consciousness, or we can, you know, not understand that this is what's happening.
I think the really interesting part about this election too, that I never paid attention to before, was counties and how they're, especially CNN right now, is paying attention to what counties are doing. And I guess because I've always lived in a more democratic urban area, even the suburban area was very close to an urban area, that Trump has been able to capitalize on these outskirts in these different states. And we don't see that, because everyone that we kind of go around in a Fulton County, in a Cobb County, even Gwinnett, you kind of think more Biden. Okay, Georgia might do this, but then there's these outskirts across a variety of states that, you know, Trump is able to control.
Well, I think the reality for us is privilege. This is an issue on people and the conversation of white privilege. Mm-hmm. When you think about the fact that, you know, the council button is on white privilege, people are voting for someone that wants to preserve white privilege, who ignores white privilege, who likes intimidation. So, you know, it's an issue, and we've got to address it. I mean, it's a disease in our country. And
so, no, I was gonna say I actually saw that too, TR. I was watching and I was like, oh man, all the major cities are blue. Mm-hmm. What's all these little red dots? Mm-hmm. These little small 500,000, 3,000, like, I don't know if they counties or city, whatever they are, like they just filling up the board with red. I'm like, well, hold on, if Atlanta is blue.
Mm-hmm. But it's not just the vote. Our consciousness needs to be on the construct of what they're voting for. Like, at the end of the day, it is who and why are they voting that way.
I mean, we've known since 1619.
Well, I don't know that we know. When we say we know, it's not in a lyric. And I challenge all those people that are songwriters. It's still not in the lyrics. We have not educated our community to a point. We still sell drugs to our community. We still say that that's the best narrative, and those are the best movies, and those are the series that need to be pushed out to our community, and everybody needs to be on lean. And we still have videos with dope and money and suggest that to our community. So it's a real challenge for truth to come in our community. And they say, "Oh, that's what people want." No, that's not necessarily what people want, but that's what you're gonna pay for our people to get. So it's like run up on health.
Right.
I haven't heard a healthy rhyme recently, Miss Berry. So I think there's a level of consciousness that we got to keep.
That you have a variety of artists. You talking about like more so artists and their impact on the arts?
I'm saying just even conversation, because I don't want to get stuck in the blame game. I just think consciously as a community, come out of COVID understanding health disparities and what does that mean for your health. When you think about the fact, Romeo says, okay, I work out twice a day. And think about the fact that we're literally saying to people 10,000 steps. And you literally think that we're getting ready to we're in like month number 9 of a pandemic. And there isn't a board that you and I can go to. And it says, you know what, if you don't have a skill, then we're going to give you a skill as a community member. If you aren't moving 10,000 steps, then we're going to do this. If you aren't drinking 2 glasses of water every 2 hours.
Well, maybe I think that might depend on just what people like and people pay attention to, because a lot of the people that I follow a lot of trainers. I follow a lot of mental health advocates. I think that a lot of young people are thinking about being mobilized and thinking about our mental health and our futures. I have a lot of friends who are vegan. That wasn't something that was practiced.
The word that I'm working to get us to understand is we have to say it. When I say I, that's like me worried about, am I going to eat today? Yes, I will. I'll eat for the rest of my life. I'm more concerned with the people that I know have health disparities, cannot get the support. I'm not going to look at my lens in my mirror and say, I represent my community when I know that's not true.
Yeah.
Right.
I know that I have benefited from going to Morehouse. I have benefited from having parents who sacrificed so that I live. I'm not worried about I.
Right.
I'm talking, and I'm just saying, even a board, Miss Berry, that you and I can say, where is the board that says what Romeo is doing is a community imperative? That's I'm not challenging the other thing that there aren't people that are conscious in my community. But when we say collectively, what's the announcement?
Because if you do break it down community wise, like I get what Munson's saying to a certain degree, because if you do break it down community wise, does this community have basic skills learning or basic skills that they can apply to something? Do they have a basic health plan, steps, working out that they can do? Because if you do leave it up to the I person, and there's a community of 3,000, of course the I person is winning, but is that community winning? I get it.
Yeah. I get that. And that's more what I'm saying. Not that you aren't conscious. I count on that.
No, it's not about me. I just maybe it's the people I follow, and the people that I follow, they have.
It's not a maybe. It's not a maybe. It's not a maybe.
I think that there's a lot of different food banks, and people are talking about putting more greens and vegetables in areas like the West End. So there's a lot of conversation that's happening. I don't want to think that we're so far behind. Like,
just think of why these individuals understand what they are doing. Their agenda is very clear. Keep us in position. And I'm just saying, from a pandemic, where can we look and say, you know what? We've decided that this health imperative means these 5 things, whatever it is. And that's where our entire community is going to focus the truth. You know, what is on our ballot when we vote for ourselves? Right. That's all. It's not that I don't believe that there's more things happening in the West End, that Killer Mike is working to do financial education in terms of his opening up Greenwood, right. That there's not a level of consciousness. But ownership and owning our issues collectively so that we can solve them collectively, thinking about that type of Wall Street, because health is our wealth. It is a primary. Yeah. It is a primary. So,
let's take it to Facebook. So we have some comments on Facebook, and we were actually talking about this pre-show, Iris Baker says it last night that he won the election, and he's trying to say that the Democrats are committing fraud by stealing votes, and he wants to take it to the Supreme Court to stop the counting of the votes. So we saw that.
You can't even take it straight to the Supreme Court. You have to go through levels of the court in order for it to be approved to go right to the Supreme. So he doesn't even know how the judicial system works.
Yeah.
He does. He don't care. He wants things done his way. And if he pouts it enough or touts it enough, he's hoping to get a whole bunch of people on his side to say, yeah, he's right. No, they can't stop. They can't count the rest of those votes for completely registered people that mailed them in, and it wasn't fraud. Like he's
working not to catch COVID, standing around a bunch of people, 300 people, so you can get COVID instead of just mailing in your ballot, or having to miss your work while you're doing it. Come on, man.
He's completely aware. He just
Iris Baker, you're right.
Rules mid gang.
That was it.
Iris, you're right.
That was at 2:00 in the morning. The president,
Who you talking to?
of the United States.
It was a simple fact that he had 250 people sitting in front of him with no mask on in the White House. Like, what are we doing?
Who are you talking to at 2:00 in the morning, sir?
Sir. And then they waited for him to come out for I don't know how long. Like what? I guess he was trying to get his game plan straight on say. But sir, that's not it. You cannot automatically just discount and not count the votes for the registered American people that sent their ballots in. You can't.
I said last night, man, it still truly amazes me the people that follow this man. Yeah. I am beyond amazed.
Like I woke up and I looked at the map and I'm like, damn, that's red as hell. Right? And then, it dawned on me, like, are all these people really voting for him, or can they like maneuver into these smaller counties and kind of steal the vote, because they may not be as astute as let's just say big cities are,
Right.
And so they might infiltrate and go in and kind of steal those elections. I don't know.
Are they like moving to these states? Like, are they like just in Georgia? Are they moving to Georgia? Are they moving to Ohio before the election? Like, what is going on?
Because I guess I've never lived in a really, really, really small town. Not for real. Like
right.
I attended college and I lived in Ruston, which was a smaller city outside of Grambling. But I wasn't into politics then. So I didn't know how they did things and how they thought, really. Of course, coming from a big city, you just like, oh, they just country. But looking at all those red dots on the map, are all y'all just country? Like y'all just
it reminds me of the Confederate versus the Union.
Yeah.
It goes back to what Portia just said. I'm very I can honestly say I want to learn. I'm really curious. What are y'all people voting for? You can't be voting for the economy because he didn't change that. You can't be voting for healthcare because he didn't change that. You can't be voting for a better America, a unified America, because he didn't change that. I honestly would love to talk to one of them and ask them, what did you actually vote for? Because I'm lost. I'm completely lost.
They voted for the principles that built this nation. Plain and simple. They voted for supremacy. They voted for this idea of law and order. Right. They voted for
black supremacy,
privilege.
Might ask Terry Crews.
TR, if that's the case, because I'm not disagreeing with you, but if that's the case, and I gotta look at that map, like Portia said, and I got to see all that red, I do not want to put in my head that much red is that. I do not want to put myself in a place where I want to say, damn, so America is just.
And that was I think what the thing about this election, the blow would be hard, but it's softened because we saw what happened with Hillary post the amazingness of seeing the first Black president get elected, because a lot of us are having this same type of premonition, like, is this country really like this? But we was able to get a Black president, but we were able to go far past the civil rights era. And then you have somebody as divisive as Trump, and a lot of his supporters say he's not politically correct, but he says exactly what's on our minds. And he was able to continually mobilize that group and gain support. You got to think, more people voted in this election than ever before for both Biden and for Trump.
So Terry, the first King James is on, and he has a message for you, Romeo. He said, stop being shocked by how many folk follow Trump. They follow Trump because he perfectly represents what they want and desire.
But you have to be shocked. I'm not using this as a scapegoat. Portia woke up this morning, out of her mouth, I woke up, I saw red. You literally have to be shocked after everything that's happened in this country the past 4 years. You got to be completely shocked that people are still clicking that button. Like, you're still clicking, hey, he's doing a good job, but you gotta be.
It is shocking, First King James, to see, and I'm trying to put it as lightly as I can, but to see all of the states, all of the dots that have actually voted for Trump. If he didn't get in there and just steal them, but it's just kind of like, are y'all literally living under a rock? Like, that's how I feel. Like, do y'all, like, you know how some people, so in Detroit, so I live on the outskirts of Detroit, and some people where I live in a small city, they'll say, I've never been to Detroit. It's 30 minutes down the road. Like, why not? Like, how come you've never ventured into Detroit? It's 30 minutes down the road. And so I just feel like some of these people in these rural counties and these rural states are just like that. Like, I've never been to the big city. And so you just don't know. And I don't know if you can blame them for really not knowing, or is it our fault for not educating?
Like, we don't go there either. We don't go there unless we go into a PWI in a small town. It's not like we're interacting with them. So we feel like it's allies. I think as a Black community, maybe I'm just speaking for myself, but I feel like I know white people, and then I know allies to people of color and in my community. And then I don't really know how to differentiate those people, but I do know that in urban communities, it seems to be more white people who will go Democrat. But in those rural communities that a lot of Black people don't live in, we see that they cater to Trump's base.
But even in the rural communities that the Black people do live in, like, what's going on down there? Like, are y'all not voting? Are they coming in and they stealing the election from y'all? Are they stealing your vote? Are they voting on your behalf? Like, what is going on? Because there are a lot of rural Black places that voted for Trump.
I agree. Like, something doesn't add up. Like, something, regardless, we hope Biden wins, but I agree. Something doesn't add up. Something does not add up with votes, right? Like, something in this system does not add up, because I get it. It takes this amount of time to count the early voters, but y'all don't have a system to count it. And then the people that vote on the day of, like, there's something that doesn't add up when it comes to counting votes. It has to be a simpler way. There has to be a simpler way. Has to be. I'm not gonna say, somebody said vote by, why aren't we able to vote by phone or whatever like that? People can hack phones, but I don't. It got to be a simpler way.
We got 50 bots texting us every day.
Oh my God.
Hey,
I got that phone call about stay home, stay safe.
Oh my God.
But did y'all hear that they were actually making robot calls saying that you can vote tomorrow? Who y'all talking
my
to?
God. I had 2 days ago a young white male with a book bag on, knocked on our door. Does Romeo live here? Yeah, I'm him. Hi, I just wanted to make sure that you had plans on voting on election day, and I wanted to make sure that you had a ride, and that what was your main concern? And I'm sitting there in shock. Well, first of all, I was on my guard, but I was like, and I asked him, I was like, how do you know my name? B, my address, and C, why are you at my house? Oh, I've been assigned to the neighborhood for those people who haven't voted. So I don't know what system that we are all in, but somehow we're in a system to where these people have our information knowing that we have not participated in voting, just like those phone calls. But this dude actually came to the house and asked why. And then I watched him when he was walking away, and he walked across the street to another house. So I was like, okay, well, maybe he might be legit. But the fact that that's happening along with the text messages and the emails, hey man, take my name out that. Get my name out that system, man.
Well, we got some guests. I think all of the guests are on, so it'll be good to hear their thoughts on election day. They're from Wisconsin. Did Wisconsin go to Biden or Trump, y'all?
We got 3%. They say 3%. They still waiting on 3% of
Wisconsin, no projected winner yet. All right, so we all on here with no projected winner. Michigan, Georgia, Wisconsin. Hey y'all, hey.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm loving the hair, Dawn. Super cute. Yes. Good morning, Erica.
Good morning. Thank you. How are you?
What's up, Shay?
Good morning.
Shay.
Does Erica have enough
They from Minnesota. Y'all from Minnesota, not Wisconsin.
We surely aren't, because Minnesota took the Democrat. Thank you very much.
Still blue, baby. We still blue.
Yeah, we blue. They knew.
Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry for throwing y'all out there like that. I'm sorry.
We are not the same.
Yeah,
Right. Y'all over there, y'all already got y'all blue.
we got our blue. We got our blue.
Yes.
Mhm.
We show up. I mean, again, Minnesota was the beginning of a racial revolution. Started here, kicked off in 2020 with the murder of George Floyd. We better had showed up. And so today was Let Go, Let Flow. We're all about discussing and debriefing how Black folks showed up, how the young Black, you showed up to vote. Because I believe that they, white and Black, showed up to make sure Minnesota stayed blue. Because trust me, there's enough red. You guys talked about the outlining areas. Oh, it's all Trump here in Minnesota. Once you leave the metro of Minneapolis and St. Paul, smack the red. Okay.
I love that you say that, because I think it's a similar thing happening in Wisconsin with the shooting of Jacob Blake, who, if you guys recall, he got shot in the back 8 times, and that was caught on camera. It was a big thing in Wisconsin. So I think that the Black Lives Matter campaign is definitely energizing this election.
Hey, shout out to Black Lives Matter. Yes.
So what bring to us today? Who we got today?
You got
Good morning, Erica.
Morning.
We got early today.
I was like, I gotta get up. Oh, I didn't stay up too late to watch the results, but I'm Erica Coleman here from Minnesota, community advocate. So thank you for having me.
Yes, and say your new role. She's got a huge new role.
So I am the City of Bloomington, which is a second ring suburb, Housing and Redevelopment Authority Administrator. So I am over that department in the City of Bloomington, which oversees affordable housing, homebuyer programs, redevelopment, all of the things in housing for that city, and coordinates with other cities. So, yes.
Welcome. Yeah, so big ups to that. That's a huge accomplishment. We're very proud of you. Way to represent us and help us get more housing, right? Home ownership, wealth.
Yes, thank you.
And also, Erica, don't be shy about you took the lead as, again, Black women will lead. She jumped in to the pool of Black women here in Minnesota that ran for office. Do you want to talk a little bit about that experience really quick? Because again, I don't know if Rolling Out AM gets to meet,
Yes.
pretty dope Black
Right.
women
Mhm.
that, stuck their neck out for our communities and ran for a local office.
Yep, absolutely. So I did run for state senate, and it was Senate District 34, which includes the cities of Maple Grove, Dayton, Osseo, and Rogers, which are heavily Republican. However, it's a seat that's held by a 25-year incumbent. Last night. So my primary opponent that I did not win against was not successful last night, but she ran a very awesome campaign and was very close. However, this incumbent has been an impediment to social justice, criminal justice, as he is the Senate Judiciary Chair for, the Judiciary Chair for Public Safety Committee. And so he has definitely been an impediment to criminal justice, as well as the African American Family Preservation Act, which is about making sure that Black children who are taken out of their home at larger rates, at a higher rate than other children, than white children, and also are not returned at higher rates right here in Minnesota. And he will not allow that bill to be heard on the Senate floor. So I did step out to run. I made some waves. It was a learning experience. I do not regret it by any means. It was amazing. But we have never elected a Black woman to our Minnesota Senate in over 150 years.
Damn.
Wow. Would you run again? Would you run again, Erica?
For Minnesota State Senate, Senate District 34. And
Would you run again though?
Who would I run?
Would you?
Oh, girl. We have to see.
You have to see.
I can't say if I would or wouldn't. We've seen this climate of politics and the late man, and it's just really, there's a lot that can be done without being an elected official.
Right. So with that being said, we got 238. We're almost there, right? Yeah, we're almost there to 213. What does this next 90 to 120 days look like in our office?
So what this is going to look like for sure is going to be trying to stabilize the economy, because they don't talk about it much, but we actually are in an economic depression. And two, getting the coronavirus under control, which has sped up the economic depression. We were headed for one regardless, because that's the cycle of this country and in the hybrid system of capitalism that we are in. However, there needs to be a focus on stabilizing the economy, which will mean getting people housed. It'll mean getting people back to work. It'll mean stabilizing our healthcare and our frontline workers. Our hospitals are actually almost at capacity right now, and these are not being talked about. And so the first 90 to 120 days is going to look like really having to get our economy stabilized, but doing so in a different manner that is human-centered, not business-centered, not property-centered, but human-centered, where we are American or we are all American truly means that.
Mm-hmm.
Does that help the overall? Because I'm the social guy. For the past 3 days, Civil War has been trending for the past 3 days. Now, I have to in my head think that if there's going to be anything first, there has to be somebody has to pour a little water on this flame that's on the world right now. Because at first, when I first saw it, I'll be honest with you, I was like, oh, it's just going to trend for the day. When it made it to the third day, I was like, these people planning something. Like this is real. So shouldn't that be? Is that not a priority?
So I'll say how I mean it. As Black folks, we are one of the most marginalized and disenfranchised structurally. And when I say that we have to get our economy under control and make it human-centered, that starts with us. So what you do for us literally opens up and makes sure everybody else can be taken care of. And so how we're going to be able to quell what has happened is, one, it can't just be speech. Yes, Minnesota went blue, but the Democrats did a very good job of pandering to the Black vote in the last minute.
Right.
Doing that. What's going to happen is, as you say, pour water on this fire a little bit. What's going to happen is we want action right now. We want to be in housing. We want to have affordable housing that affordable to everyone. So I have to be clear because people say affordable housing and the question is affordable to who? We want to see police reform transformation. Stop killing us. Okay. They got really quiet, but there's been a couple more police shootings. This,
Yep.
Right.
like, what are you doing? We're not going to let up. And so to pour water on it is going to be all of these things at once that are going to have to be tackled in the first 90 to 120 days. And it's going to have to be action steps. We are tired of hearing speeches. We are tired of you telling us, oh, go through the system and we're going to do this and wait till after the election. We want action now. So put your money and your action where your mouth is.
So speaking of action, Black women are really good at taking action in our communities and leading. Y'all know I am all over this, right? So Kamala, you know, is she going to take action? Is she going to take a lead? Is she going to be put in the forefront to do all of those things that you just spoke of? Because again, she was a prosecutor, right? How awesome would it be if she stepped out and put her message? Because one of the biggest things that the Black community wasn't down with is that you put our people behind bars first, you know, to show that you were, you know, that you were a strong prosecutor. Again, I think they used her, you know, and they used that against her. So if she is able to come through and take a lead along with Biden, not just Biden's message, because we are tired of hearing from old white men,
Right.
what would that look like?
So here's the thing. I really believe that Kamala's going to come out and Kamala's going to do some action. I believe that was the back room conversation.
Mhm.
They did not get along. They, you know, she respected him, but they did not get along. They had two different platforms. So I do believe that a part of the deal of if you pick me as VP, you're going to have to let me really honor this role in a way that hasn't been honored before. So I believe that she will come out and take action. I am more concerned about who will be counseling her. She cannot do everything. She cannot see everything. Who's counseling her? Who's in the corner and talking to her, and who has the ear to the community, to the boots on the ground? That's how all of this changes. Yes, she is a prosecutor and she was used. However, she navigated in the system in which she was operating in and had to do, now I'm not saying she had to lock up Black folks, but she had to work in the system in order to get to this level. And I think we step over that and we miss the accomplishments that she has and how she has achieved so much. She was district attorney. She was attorney general for the state of California and went on to be junior senator to be chosen as a vice president on a major party ticket. Like, I get it. She did lock up Black folks under her office, but if we really run the numbers, there probably was a lot of attorney general and district attorneys that we just never focused on.
Right.
They still elected her. California still elected her and continue to elect her. So there has been some stuff that has come out that's been proven that what they have shown for her record wasn't actually true or factual. But nonetheless, the system in which she chose to go into and operate in as a prosecutor, as an attorney, it doesn't matter. In the legal system, it is slated and slewed against Black folks. Justice is just us, okay? That's how that works.
Love that. All right, Erica. So with the Democratic Party, you know, as we see here, hopefully coming back into office, what policies do you think they should focus on for Black and, you know, where should they start with Black and brown people? Like, what's the first thing they should focus on?
Man, so that's a tough one because we're not a monolith, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're just not. However, I mean, there's an overhauling of the system that needs to happen. And when I say the system, it's literally every.
Right.
Please do a electoral college that was put together, favored for slave states.
Mm-hmm.
Start with voting rights. You know, like this whole system to vote. Start with that. Listen, the census is coming, or the census is done, right? Yeah. The census is going to determine how many people are in Congress representing each state. Every state has so many Congress people. In Minnesota, we have 8. 8 congressional districts, and we have 2 senators. Every state gets 2 senators. So we have 10 electoral votes. Literally, the electoral vote is based on the census. The census is done, and the census is going to determine how much money we get and how many votes in Congress we have. Do away with the Electoral College and actually add some seats to the Supreme Court. I'm all for it. Expand the Supreme Court. These are just 2 things that are higher level, because I am one of those people that is all politics is local. We focus so much on the national election and how it trickles down to our daily lives, when the things, to be honest, the things that President Trump is able to take credit for right now was done by Obama.
Right.
And what's going to happen is, in the next term, regardless if it's Biden or Trump, there's going to be a holdover from this 4 years. And nobody focuses on that. And I don't know why Biden didn't use it on the campaign trail and say, hey, what you're taking credit for, that happened under the administration I was VP. However, at the federal level, we need to start looking at voting policies, voting practices. The Supreme Court needs to be expanded. The Electoral College needs to be disbanded. And we need more money in our states, especially when it comes to the stimulus package, the CARES Act. Mind you, that's been held up. Mitch McConnell got reelected. We getting a check. And it's a check that we can't turn down. So regardless, I know people wanted this and that. Take the money, because you're gonna have to deal with it in 2021 when you deal your taxes anyway. Listen, take a nod from your president and be like, hey, how did you pay $750? What can I claim?
And drop the mic.
You know what?
We claim that. We'll be at our house, Erica, if we claim that.
Hey, we gotta claim something.
something. Oh, I love it. Love it.
Tiara's face is like, I mean, she done said a whole lot and what are you thinking? I want to know. I want to hear your comment, because your face has been everything this whole time that Erica has been speaking. So I want you to say something, because it looks like you are just bursting to make a comment or something. Queen, let's hear what you have to say, please.
I love hearing Erica say what I've been thinking. And a lot of us are thinking, but I think that growing up, I didn't get to have a lot of these conversations at my dinner table. This wasn't the things that was happening in my community. I still have family members and friends who think their vote doesn't count. So I think that being a part of conversations like this, it gives me hope, because I hate the Electoral College. And now there's other people who believe in the same things that I believe in, that I get to see. And I'm just really, really excited and proud of that. And I think that no matter how this election goes, 10, 15, 20 years from now, I can think about having children and feeling that I can leave them in a country that pushed forward, in the same way that we have ancestors that left us a country that we had to take responsibility for and push forward. And even though we have so much farther to go, there's action happening now. And I'm just really grateful that a lot of people have just gotten so interested in this election.
You know, and more importantly, I'm excited that your demographic, your age group is fired up. Because again, you guys truly are, I know it's cliche, but you are the future. And so I have a 23-year-old son. He is fired up. He is empowered. He is out there boots to ground. So it really is, as a collective, if we can get beautiful Black and brown people and our allies out, it is everything. And so Erica shifted from the national stage, what we can do locally. So Erica, how do you see local governments making a huge shift that we need?
So that's going to be, for a lack of a better term, the Black and brown communities keeping their boots on their neck. That's what, listen, we got activated, energized, and it's great. Don't let up.
Right.
And I have said this, and I know people didn't like it. I have a concern that if Biden is elected, that people will kind of be like, oh, again. No. No, because guess what? The Minnesota State Senate has remained Republican-led. So that means that our governor, our Democratic governor, has still a divided legislature.
Right.
At the time, it was the only one in the country, but it mimicked the US Congress.
Right.
So at this point, we are looking at a House that is still Democratic led and a Senate that is still Republican led. What does the Senate do? Well, the Senate's over the budget. It's great that they finally passed it in the 5th special session. Nobody was focusing on that. They were worried about everything else. I'm like, we don't have a budget, y'all. We ain't got no money. But they finally, but they're also over the appointments, over the commissioners, over the departments that are the state of Minnesota. So education, economic development, these departments are all confirmed, the commissioners confirmed by the state Senate. So it's very important that we don't let up. Don't let the protests stop. Don't let the people running for office stop. Don't let the people that are banging on the door stop. And don't let the people that work within the system stop advocating. Don't do it. That's what needs to happen. We have to keep pushing it. The squeaky wheel gets the oil. That, for a lack of a better idea, that is how government works. Those that keep speaking up, those that keep showing up are the ones that get the action that they are asking for. And so at this point, at the local level, we need to focus on our school boards. Listen, we had the elections happen. We had some great people get elected on our school boards. It's going to be amazing, but they're also going to be at a turning point to really learn this curve in the midst of coronavirus, because it's ticking up in Minnesota and we're looking at shutting down. Mind you, I didn't say again, because we ain't never shut down. Like, we just never shut down. So we are looking at that, and it matters what's going to happen. We're concerned about our youth being our future, but how are we educating them?
Right.
How are people able to work and make money right now to survive, to live, to be able to thrive? So at the local level, it's going to be very important to, one, our homelessness off the chain.
Right.
I focus on Minneapolis and St. Paul, but I am going to a second-rate suburb where the county is purchasing hotels for homeless. Something that people don't know. The homeless population are out there. It just looks different in the suburbs. They're really good at hiding their mess, right? So we need to make sure that we get people housed here in the cities, here in Minnesota. That's at the local level. We need to make sure that we are taking care of the people that are out of jobs. Hospitals and clinics have quietly closed. People have been laid off. People have been laid off from city government quietly. I'm coming from the city of Minneapolis. Over 100 people have been laid off at the city of Minneapolis. That's not going to stop. Our police forces. What is this with the U.S. Department of Justice has a relationship pilot with Minneapolis Police Department that we really don't know anything about, but it's coming with. What's going on? There's a whole human rights investigation happening to the city of Minneapolis Police Department. Let's not forget, St. Paul is some of the ruthless police in this state, and they have a history for being that. But we focus so much on Minneapolis that we don't focus on St. Paul. Yeah. Policing as a whole needs to be reformed, needs to be transformed, and the resources and services need to be available to help people. We need more human services, social services to help people. All of those things need to happen at the local level at the same time.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Erica. You shared so much and taught us so much this morning. Thank you so much. Congratulations on your new role. Lead us in light and be airy and positive energy. I'm go blue. I think we got this, y'all. Let's go. Let's go. Well, as always, thank you for joining us on Let Go, Let Flow with Don and Shay. Inhale the positive, exhale the negative, and everyone have a blessed day. Enjoy the sunshine.
Thank you, guys.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, Erica. She got me ready to run in 2028 or something like that.
Do it, Romeo. Do it.
Yeah. Romeo for president. Yep, I'm gonna do it. That's what it's gonna be.
I want to join like an organization. I'm about to go get outside. I'm outside.
You guys, happy Wellness Wednesday.
All right, happy Wellness Wednesday.
Bye, ladies.
Bye.
Thank you.
Matter of fact, TR, you gonna be my running mate?
I'll be running mate.
Let's go.
Every candidate, strong Black woman on the ticket.
Let me tell you something. TR, I can see you on there. Nope. This ain't happening.
Be my faces. I ain't even gonna have to. I'm gonna just.
Tiara, can we? Nope. I was wondering. Nope.
If I'm the one splitting the vote, it's gonna be a bad day for them. Because I'm gonna give my vote and give them a piece of my mind.
Like, what's wrong with President Tiara? Oh, she's not having it today, so we not doing it today.
No.
Oh my God! Shout out to everybody on Facebook. Pat George says, "Thank you, Minnesota, former state resident, for coming through with blue." Cedric Robinson, Odell Clark, Anthony Carr, Gina Gentry said, "I agree. The Electoral College needs to go." I still don't understand it, but it's whatever. D. Shield said voters sent the non-electoral college to the past here in Colorado yesterday. Follow the example of the other states. Harold says systemic racism and police accountability. Let me tell you something. What would really be dope, if y'all can get police accountability across the board. We talking about not everybody had their own one in each state, but across the board. Watch how quick that changes. But jumping into the social report, wherever Ashley sent me, I'm gonna go because I'm still trying to figure out what's in her closet, and she gonna hit me. So this right here was trending yesterday socially, and well, trending this today and all the way to this morning. But it was kind of domestic terrorists responsible for setting fires to three historically Black churches was only, I want to make sure I say this, only sent to 25 years in prison. Now, here's the thing. Because I want to make sure I read this right. James, 22-year-old Holden James Matthew, 3 historical Black churches in Louisiana. This past Monday was sentenced to just 25 years in prison following a 2-day hearing. Now, Louisiana is outraged because now the 25 years in prison, people are saying, oh, that's a life sentence. But these are historical national monumented facilities that the state has said are historical, and he only got 25 years. And this
in Louisiana, because Louisiana is straight up a red state. So who's upset?
New Orleans, baby.
Because they say it's because these 3 churches are considered historical. That's why it got labeled a terrorist attack. So you telling me if it wasn't historical, it wouldn't be a terrorist attack, but because it's historical, it's a terrorist.
D. Louisiana turned red again. Yes, D.
So,
girl, terrible.
Next,
people in Louisiana.
Next up, wherever Ashley go, I'm gonna go that portion. They far from upset. All right, and I got a video to go with this, but this was so weird. So Antonio Bronner, Adrian Bronner was thrown in jail yesterday, and he admitted to the judge. I don't know if he was trying to just get away real quick. He said, "I'm a broke phony with only $13 to my name."
Why was it
Well, I'm glad you asked that, portion. I want y'all to see the video first, and I'm gonna tell you why he got sentenced to jail. Hit it, Ashley.
What you guys want to do? I'm answering the question. When I answer the question, that's all I did have on me. I don't have on. I got rich friends. I do. I got rich friends. I got wealthy friends that take care of me.
Where's all the money coming from that you're flashing around in Instagram? Whose money is that?
So you're on it.
I asked him.
It's getting sent to me. I don't have it.
Who's sending you money?
My friends.
They're sending you. Why would they send you money?
Because I asked them. I mean, listen. I got a big heart.
So he was saying that. So the judge asked him, "How do you don't have money?" I follow you on. This is the judge. I follow you on Instagram. I see you flashing money all the time. He said, "Oh, my friend sent me money. That's my friend sending me money." And she was like, "What friend sent you thousands of dollars for you to flex on Instagram?" But he's being charged with more than $800,000 for a woman he sexually assaulted in a nightclub back in 2018. And the judge told him that he had a certain amount of time to pay it. He's paid nothing. And that's when they picked him up. He said he only had $13 to his name because he hasn't had a recent fight. But the judge counterpunched with, hey, I follow you, buddy. Tell y'all, man, Instagram gonna get some of y'all in trouble.
Looks like they took him to jail too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they took him to jail. Oh, they took him to jail. The most powerful thing right now in this country is female rights. You don't want to cross that path. That is a sentence you're not gonna beat. So make sure y'all chill out on y'all social media.
Like if he assaulted the lady, then and he didn't pay anything, then he needs to be in jail.
I hate this. It seems like it's getting redundant with boxers, especially Black boxers, where they just seem to be very domestically violent against women. And I hate that. Like, keep that in the ring. Period. You have a registered weapon on your body.
Yeah.
Relax.
Yeah. So if he did that, you need to go to jail, sir. And you need to be a broke phony. And you don't need to get out until you pay. So you better ask your friends to get you out.
Next up, if I think Ashley's gonna
Money Mayweather, isn't he friends with Mayweather?
Mayweather, here's the thing. Mayweather actually dropped him after the sexual assault charges became like real.
Brother don't want them problems on him.
He better go groveling. Ask somebody to help get him out. Tell him he'll fight for him. Do something. But keep your hands to yourself, sir, especially outside of the ring. Like,
I can fight for you if you get me out. Okay. Next up, if Ashley is pulling up the right thing, which I think she is. So this video went viral on TikTok. I think it's right. Okay. So there's a video attached to this. So this video went viral on TikTok. A white man in the video jumped out the car to defend a Black man against a Trump caravan that ran him off the road. When the cops showed up, the cops arrested the Black man. So I found the video. The same caravan of people that Portia spoke about the other day, that Munson said he saw, that these caravan of people ran the Black man off the road. He actually got into a shouting match with, it was just singular him, and there was probably like over 15 or 20 of them. And this is the white guy who was driving up. Hit it, Ashley.
Better way. You being a bitch. It's a better way. I support a fucking flag too, but keep the shit to yourself, bro. It ain't no fucking shit. It having a damn parade is not the fucking flag. It's the reason, bro, that everybody motherfucking fighting this shit, bro, because of this fucking shit right here, dude. You grow the fuck up and have your own fucking opinion and keep that shit to your motherfucking self. The motherfucking difference in fucking... Man, that's on me, bro. I'm gonna get shot.
Now this is the police arrested the Black man.
Hey, he didn't do nothing!
Man, this is fucked up, bro. It's a motherfucking difference, bro. What the fuck, bro? Ain't nobody goes.
So this was in Alabama, and the white man was very, very upset because, as you can see, they pulled over to arrest the Black man. But if you caught a glimpse, it was over 25 of them. With signs. They ran him off the road. He was basically getting out of his car like, who are y'all to be running me off the road because of my Biden sign? And the police and the white guy who was driving behind him, you know, I wasn't able to find his name. And I want to say kudos to him because he literally was upset. He literally was upset to the point of, this is the problem that's going on in the country. And this is the problem that Black people have, and you wonder why Black people got a problem. I applaud him, man. I really do. I really do.
So what was the outcome? Did they take the Black man to jail, or
they took the Black man? Oh my God, they took the Black man to jail for stopping in the middle of the road and impeding traffic.
After he was ran off the road.
After he was ran off the road.
Okay. So
he didn't pull over. He didn't pull over to the shoulder of the road. He was impeding traffic. And the protesters, as you can see, they were not putting harm on whatever they call it, vehicular harm. They arrested the man for impeding traffic.
So it was in a red state. Alabama went to Donald Trump. I'm sure the cops, you know, they support Donald Trump. So that's just like Donald Trump saying that the caravan, the motorcade that ran the Biden bus off of the road, he said they just were trying to protect them. They were just trying to protect them.
I gotta.
I mean,
I hate laughing. I just can't imagine. Excuse me, officer. There's a reason that I'm in the middle of the road. Like, I have to explain to you outside of the 45 people that's screaming at me. I gotta explain to you why I'm in the middle of the road.
I can't wait for him to get out of office.
And I think it's just
not going to replace the systems that are already in place, but if we get the new leadership in and they do a clean sweep in terms of cleaning the house, cleaning the police systems, cleaning, you know, putting more judges on the bench. If we get the new leadership in place, then we'll have a little bit of hope. I'll be so happy when he's out of office and we can start cleaning up.
It's just, it's getting to a point, it's really embarrassing to be from America. Like, it's the simple fact we have the largest military presence in every other country, and somehow we could be unified to go fight other countries, but within our own country, since we've been brought to this country, it's just been war within ourselves. For what?
Hey, T.I. Hey, where you from? I'm from France. It's that type of embarrassing. You don't even want to tell people.
I'm Canadian, Toronto, Vancouver.
Okay.
I thought you was from Atlanta. No, I never lived in the United
I'm with Drake. I'm with Drake and Justin Bieber.
No, you're right. It's that bad.
But yeah, it just makes no sense to be in a consistent war with ourselves.
Oh, God.
There's no other country. I mean, granted, you see the things happen in Nigeria, but that comes from, I mean, I guess it is corrupt government. But when you have everyday people turning into cops and using that to use privilege to attack us in 2020, seriously? The most developed country in the world has the highest prison system rates in terms of incarceration. For what?
Oh, it's just senseless. What else we got, Romeo?
Report. Good question. What else we got? Actually, are we good to go? Birthdays. We got birthdays. What's up with the birthdays?
Hey, we got a birthday. Diddy.
Oh, one time, man, Diddy himself, Sean King, Combs King,
Harlem Shaker,
Diddy Puff
Daddy, Sean Combs, Brother Love,
turns 51, and
Sean Sarah.
One of the best corners wide receivers in the business, man. Dez Bryant turns 32, man. Happy birthday, Diddy. Happy birthday, Dez. Oh, Dez. I gotta find out who Dez playing for right now. He was on my fantasy team. But yeah, happy birthday to you guys. And here is the birthday song right in here.
Got it.
Oh,
we got balloons, yeah. The cake is on the way. We got the music playing, cause it's your holiday. Woo. We invited family, and everybody came. I strike a pose for me like you in a picture frame. You got your finest clothes on, and $1 million smile. So we gon' celebrate you for a while. Yeah. And don't forget we got the candles when you away. Don't forget we got the candles. Happy birthday, gonna celebrate you for a while. Candles, blowing you away. Wait. Candles, happy
wave them in.
Breaking news, I think Michigan just went blue.
I need to turn on CNN. What
I
happened?
need to turn on CNN. What?
I mean, it hasn't been declared yet, but Michigan has just went blue. According to the Google search I just did, Biden is up 49.3 to Trump's 49.2. Biden is leading with 2.4, about 2.5 million votes to Trump's 2.48.
See, I gotta watch CNN because they push the buttons and do the states and the colors with the numbers.
It's happening now.
Can we pull it up? Is there any way we can pull it up? Because I'm sitting in front of y'all. I can't sit in front of the TV.
Ashley, can you Google election and then pull that up?
I want to see them push the colors. I like the colors. They be, I don't know what kind of TV they got. Let me tell you something.
Chris Cuomo.
Hey, whatever TV CNN got, I want that TV because clearly they just be.
They be like, if you go here and you click here,
over here and you pull this.
I'm like, modern technology. Wow.
Well, man, shout out to everybody. Man, and I had, like I said, I had a great time voting. I know Tiara early voted, Portia and the family early voted. Early voted. And
let me tell y'all how my kids wanted to push back. It was like, Ma, do we have to do this? What are we doing? And I'm sitting up there like, who raised y'all?
Are they of age to vote?
No.
Oh.
They're not of age. I had them looking up, listen, so of course I went and got an absentee ballot, and so I'm brought it home, and so I had them helping me look people up to see what their accomplishments were, what their record was, what they did versus what the other person did, and they sitting up there begrudgingly. Oh my God, Mom, do we have to do this now? Absolutely.
How you ask your own kids, who raised y'all? You.
I'm just saying, like, really. The older I get, the more I be like, I shouldn't have sent y'all the prize. Y'all are entitled in a mug. Oh.
That is a good.
Back tight, y'all. 3,000 votes. Biden is up right now.
Where? On Michigan?
Mm-hmm.
Good job.
So I am curious. So
I put Biden right at 270. I'm sorry.
So
without Pennsylvania, because that's what they were modeling. They were saying that if they went all of the other states, Pennsylvania will be a non-factor.
Okay.
We waiting on Georgia.
And I'm really curious to like how this all works. Like so he hits the number, and it becomes official. And then how long does it take to kick him out?
January 21st.
Hold on, I gotta wait till January till he get kicked out.
If he feel like, they put a barricade around the White House now.
Man,
was that sending?
Like he can't go the next day. Like he can't move up next day. Cause I help him move.
Right now, okay, so no, we would not need Pennsylvania, Portia. If we can secure Nevada, Wisconsin, and Michigan, that will put Biden right at 270.
Hallelujah.
Do he need help moving out? I think, you know what? Romeo International is putting together.
Because I'll be picking up stuff like,
I want to help.
Keep going. Let's get on the Biden-Harris train and go to the inauguration. I'm going. When is it? I took my baby
January 21st.
Hell. And actually we made it a road trip, and they were young. And
2008, yeah.
It was cold as hell
outside. It was so cold. Oh my gosh. And I remember it was Mariah Carey and Nick Cannon brushed right past me. And I'm like, oh my God, like I'm really here. I mean, yes, it was Obama, but I was like, I just touched Mariah Carey.
You know what? That is one of my biggest.
Waving at him, y'all. Let's go. We gotta go.
It was.
You're right about that portion. That's one of my biggest regrets, that I had the opportunity to go to the inauguration thing, and I did not go. I am not going to miss this one. I don't care how cold it is. I'm gonna go. I might as well book my room now. I'm gonna make it a plan to be up there during that time.
So my sister lives up there, so we just go crash her house. She lives in Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
So we all
King James.
trip.
King James talking about some Romeo. Every inauguration happens on January 21st, following the November election. We understand that. What me and Tiara is saying.
Attention last time. We didn't care.
Right. What me and Tiara saying is, can he go like?
Well, can we prosecute him tomorrow? Can we arrest him when he walks through the doors?
Right.
Tell Terry to come on. Somebody tell Terry to come on because he got a lot to say this morning.
Yeah, he got a lot to say, man. Like we get that part. What we saying is, can it happen now? Like, hey, brother, well, you ain't gonna be the president.
2021. I don't need to jinx nothing. Get him out today.
Like, make my Thanksgiving happy. Can he be out before Thanksgiving? Can we work that out? But nah, man.
When are y'all gonna arrest him? That's what I want to know.
I guess while he on his way to the Supreme Court, they're gonna have a surprise for him.
Oh, no.
Stop counting. Who you talking to? No, they need to stop counting because I'm ahead. Because all the other votes don't matter.
He's like, and I hate when he does that thing with his hands. He's like, stop counting the votes. Stop counting the votes.
Let me tell you something. I think that's one of the most powerful things. What Portia just said. Y'all do know the moment that he becomes a citizen, they about to be on his ass.
Oh, he gonna have to hide. Like the
way we was island, y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all. First off, so I am such a conspiracy theorist. First off, Epstein, whatever his name is, he's not dead. He probably still living over there on his island. And that's exactly where Trump is going, to his island. They were such good friends. They were buddies.
You must think Tupac ain't dead either. Are you one of them people?
Tupac is not dead. Y'all know Tupac ain't dead. Y'all know.
He on the island too. It's just an island.
So y'all mean to tell me that whole Machiavelli thing that he foretold over his life was fake? Come on now.
My thing is, Tupac, come on back if you gonna come. Like, don't just hide forever.
He can't come back into the limelight. He probably don't want that life. Like, that life is built for some really, really, really strong people. I'm good. I'm strong.
Stop listening to Portia.
Him and Asada Shakur is out in Cuba chilling.
Who did what?
His auntie Asada.
Stop listening out to TR. Like, y'all. Yeah, Terry, we want you to come on. Terry said, I understand y'all want him out with the quickness. Yeah. You know, as soon as they say he hit that number, we want him out.
I might go play the number 270 today.
Right. We want him out an hour after. We'll give him a chance to pack. You know what I'm saying? Say his goodbyes.
Already. He had the foresight to build that wall. He should also have the foresight to pack that stuff up.
He was scared. You could tell when he said he's not going to prepare a speech or anything. You could tell he was nervous. He knew.
He started saying stuff like, if I lose. He was alluding to it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
If I lose. Brother.
And he killed me. If I win, we're going to win big. Like, do you not know that this race is tight? Like, do you not see that you're kind of trying to win? How are you winning big?
I am waiting for. I'm not skeptical. I'm just waiting for
the icing.
Him to do something, if that makes sense. There's no doubt in my mind he's gonna pull off something that's gonna impede the progress or distract.
With Supreme Court to stop the votes. What are you talking about?
Right. So even with that, like, I guarantee you something later on today is gonna be outstanding. Like,
I think the state that they stole was probably all that they could steal without being recognized as stealing.
Michigan,
you think so?
10,000. Nevada, 8,000.
What you looking
at? They stole Florida.
Election. It'll be the first. You'll see it right below.
They stole Florida. Florida was supposed to be blue. There's no doubt in my mind.
Still in Florida for years. Don't do that. They've been still in Florida for years.
Florida's hard.
They've been stealing Florida since.
And another reason why I commend President Obama so much, because he did that twice. We ain't had these worries with Mitt Romney and John McCain.
TR, what am I doing? You said Google what?
Just Google the word election.
Okay. And then what?
Search.
Okay, hold on. Let me pull it up, y'all. We in real time right now, y'all. We in real time.
Mm-hmm.
If I could bring this up. Where's my? Okay, here we go.
So we're waiting for our guests to check in, but we're going to give y'all a quick update of what's going on.
All right, 2020 U.S. election results live. All right, Michigan.
That's still
okay. 49.3 to 49.1. Stop the counting. Stop.
Don't do that.
Stop the count. We won.
I will say this, that middle line has always bothered me. That Texas, if you go from Texas straight up, that middle line has always Texas.
I mean, that's what they call that, the Trail of Tears.
That has always bothered me.
What's up, Georgia? Don't do that. What y'all over there doing?
We're coming up. We're getting closer because before
it's
Trump
94% reporting though. That don't look good.
It looks better than how it looked though. It's way closer. We was down about 300,000 an hour ago.
Right. Let the people. hey, leave Georgia alone. Let the people finish counting.
Let them do what they're doing.
Yeah.
Come through Wisconsin. What's going on? Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania, they said we won't know till Friday. But the thing is, if we just focus on Nevada, Wisconsin, and Michigan, secure those three, that would give Biden exactly 270, and it wouldn't matter what happens to Georgia, North Carolina, or Pennsylvania, Alaska, whatever.
Hawaii. What's that next to Hawaii? I'm sorry.
Alaska.
Oh, that's that AK. That's Alaska.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
You know how they go.
3. That's fine. He can have them 3. Why you got 4? We good.
She said, "Ain't nobody going to Alaska. He can have that."
But just pay attention to the popular vote. You see, it's still about 3 million up. Biden. The popular vote always. I mean, I don't want to say always, but majority goes Democrat.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, man.
So that was.
So
good.
that's y'all. Iris Baker. So Senator Kamala. Just remember that if something happens to Biden within 3 weeks of winning, Trump said that Biden will be shot within 3 weeks of becoming president. Wow.
That's what Trump said.
Yes. Iris Baker said, remember that if something happens to Biden within 3 weeks of winning, Trump said that Biden will be shot within 3 weeks of
They said the same thing about Obama, but he outside. How about that?
He's just trying to line up his troops to do his dirty work. So just like
is that what he meant with stand back and stand by?
Projected onto his followers. Basically, he should go to jail for having a cult.
Stand back, stand by.
No. I really hate agreeing with Portia, but I agree. Something with I don't like we said earlier. I really want to understand it. He has the ability to project something on somebody to make them act in the most ridiculous way. So him saying that, just like how people been ran off the board, somebody's going to do it. Somebody's going to attempt something.
It's giving Hitler Holocaust vibes.
Ooh, that's heavy.
It's giving Columbus, let's steal this country vibes.
Mm-hmm.
That's heavy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what?
It's giving Tea Party, let's break away from Britain vibes.
I mean, we'll have to watch this, and we still have guests coming on today. I definitely wish King James was on today because he's definitely threw out way big words. And I need some big words today to figure out what I'm just saying. That's my man, 100 grand. But yeah, Iris Baker said Google it and we'll be able to see those statements that are being made. But
statement that he gonna
the statement, But I'm definitely one of the statements that I made this morning on my social media was the fact that the lack of decency and the lack of respect that this country has lost within 3 years of him being at the top is really disheartening. And I don't care how people come on and say, well, you should strive and you should be better and build better. Okay, I get all that. But what you're not understanding is that just like how Obama gave everybody an overall feeling of hope, this man has created an overall feeling of hate. Like, to me, that's amazing. That's biblical stuff for somebody to create that much hate into the world for people to act like Portia
You
said.
think it was created though?
I think
he just provoked it. I think it was already there, and I think that Republicans were coming off of being very angry about Obama and the fact that how did we let this black man in office? I feel like we're still dealing with the repercussions of that twice. You got elected twice.
But those people, I do think it was created because those people that were angry, those people that were racist, they never had a trigger. He created the trigger for. They might have had a gun, but he created the trigger for them. So for that to be something that people still put blinders on in 2020, like black people ain't going for that shit. Let's be honest. We ain't going for that shit. But for people to be that blind in 2020, I really go back to my ancestors and I'm like, what did my grandfather go through? Like, what did my great-great-grandfather go through? Because it was way worse than this. But
absolutely,
man,
I'm cold.
Brent Reborn says a standing president making a terroristic threat is unheard of, illegal, and constitutional. He should go straight to jail. Hey, me and Tiara take him, Brent.
He's running a cult. He running the cult. That's why he didn't sit there and denounce white supremacy. That's why he's sitting there endorsing somebody named Boys, whatever their name is. I don't even want to say their names. Boy. That's why he's projecting and saying, oh, he'll be shot if he said that allegedly. That's why he's telling people to welcome, get on the Trump train and welcome Kamala Harris and but they were just welcoming them. They were just protecting them. Like,
I read, I don't want to say the other outlet's name, but there's a dope documentary out about them that I watched, and I read their bylines that they had on their website. Man, I didn't even know you could put stuff like that on the website and not go to jail. I didn't even know you could, one of them literally was like, hey, if you join us, we can teach you how to protect yourself against natives of this country that are not something like white-blooded or stern-blooded or something, whatever kind of blooded, and we'll teach you how to protect yourself. Hey, basically, we'll teach you how to kill black people. Y'all need help?
And Native Americans.
And Jews.
History has a habit of repeating itself, and this presidency has just showed that things had to come to light. Mm-hmm. And I think that it is unfortunate, however, eye-opening to see what a person can do, not to a country, but what he can do to people who already were thinking away, but he gives them now permission to act out on their demonizing tactics and ideas in this. Like, you can't let people think like this as the president of the United States.
He obviously thinks that he can. So, yeah, I mean, he's the type of president that says, who gonna check me, boo? saying. Let's look at where we at now. I just want to see.
Yeah, refresh. It refreshes. It's like every time it just refreshes.
That was Are you gonna take it? Who gonna check me? I'm the president. And
I'm recognized
as long as I'm the president, I'm protected.
I'm talking about 3 terms. I want to run as much as I can.
Hold on. Okay, so let's see where we at now. So Michigan is light blue. They're projecting us to take.
So it looks like it's up 18,000 votes now, right? Or almost 19,000.
I'm getting. Let me see. Okay, here we go. All right. So where we at? 49.4.
Mm-hmm.
Nervous?
18,000, almost 19,000 votes, y'all.
Over Nevada.
Let's see what Nevada is.
What's your nervous?
I'm happy. I'm happy. So
67%. What are they doing?
Yeah, I know. 67% reporting. Something ain't right, Nevada. Okay. What's up, Georgia? Georgia.
Begin with what? We 20, 100,000, 120.
Leave our people alone.
Pennsylvania.
CP time.
Pennsylvania on some bull crap.
We're gonna come through.
That's why he felt so comfortable saying they do bad things in Philly. Shut up.
We're gonna come through.
Because he's like, I don't need Philly to win Pennsylvania. And then everybody else felt like the same. They was like, they do bad things in Philly.
Wisconsin, Michigan, Nevada. Right at 270.
No, Brent Reborn, you're absolutely right. I don't know. Don't nobody own this country.
Plus 2, and that's 26 plus 6.
Brent Reborn says
238 plus 32. What's that, y'all?
270.
Brent Reborn says that brings another point. How are white people telling others of color to go back to where they came from when they are European themselves, not American? The only true Americans are Native Americans, and you're absolutely right. Nobody really owns it. Like none of us came from.
That's why when you think about it, they don't like the term Native Americans because quick history lesson. Christopher Columbus thought he discovered India. That's why we call them Indians over here. When you say the term Native American, you're acknowledging the fact that you were the Native American. They don't even want to do that. They want to say the Indians. The Indians is over in Asia, honey.
Listen.
Get TR started.
They lied. That's why. And then
I don't even know geography.
It's too late that they lied, y'all. That'd be the thing. We be like, oh no, this is history. No, that is his story. Is what it is. His story, not ours.
I don't know what Ashley went to, man, but I had a guest that was gonna pop. I know we got some more guests coming on.
Oh, I don't have that. Dude, send it to me, Romeo.
Actually, it's gonna take a minute. It was a transfer, but it's actually on rolling out. But I'll send that to you.
If it's on rolling out, send me the link. I'll get it.
1 sec. They'll actually go with. See, this what happened. I think our producer had to go back to her closet because she got a secret mask.
Don't be talking about our producer. No.
I don't know what she's doing in her spare time.
Computer issues. Leave my producer alone.
Don't know what she's doing in her spare time.
No, you don't. So leave it at that.
She was watching CNN, and so she can inform us on what's going on.
That's what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if somebody sends it to me, I'll play it. Who was this interview with, Romeo?
Oh, got a chance to sit down with, I know you sit down with Amari Hardwick about Spell. Got the opportunity to sit down with the director himself, and he spoke highly of Amari Hardwick and Loretta Devine. And that clip is now on rollingout.com where you can actually just see that quick little segment of our conversation. But he actually spoke about how Loretta Devine should be heralded in the eyes of a same way we celebrate white actors when it comes to Oscars and Emmys. like Loretta Devine should be that to the Black community, and he just spoke very highly of it. I thought it was dope.
Do you think we don't hold her to that high esteem?
We don't.
Do you think that it's because she doesn't get, I guess, that popular pop recognition?
Denzel, Viola Davis.
What's his name? I got it up now.
More.
Mark.
That's it. Tondaria.
Tondaria. So go ahead.
Denzel, Viola Davis. So this is the conversation with the director that you can check on Rolling Out. Check it out.
Just when you thought TV couldn't get any better, there's Black Film and TV on Xfinity. Just say Black Film and TV into your Xfinity voice remote to find curated collections, hit TV shows, blockbuster movies, and more. The best in entertainment is also the best in Black entertainment. Simple, easy, awesome.
Those three particular, how was it working with them?
Oh, let me start with Miss Loretta, because she's a legend, right? She's a legend, hands down. If she were white, she'd be, heralded. You know what I mean? She'd be a national treasure, And my big thing with this film is to try and make the world treat her like a national treasure. If we can get some sort of award for her for this, because it is that good. She's that good in this film. She's that good. And I wouldn't bullshit you. She's that good in this film.
Okay.
For me, if we could get some sort of like award for her, I would absolutely love it. She's amazing in this film. And the way that she has a lyricism with the words and the poetry with the words and the way that she does her body, and it's just sublime, right? And then, against that, acting is listening, right? And good acting is listening. And so you always need a good partner. And she's got the best in Omari. Omari, when I said action, that brother would just go into it. And, he'd be sweating. And when I said cut, I'd have to hold him up sometimes. He was that kind of spent. And I promise you, I've worked with a lot of actors, like you said. I work with a lot of big actors. But, when you talk about commitment to the work, right, and a fellowship and a spiritualism, this brother's got it all. And a movie star, oh my God. I had to email him. I had to phone him when I was doing the mix, because we had COVID and we were editing at home on screens that are this big. And then suddenly they're like, okay, we're done with the edit. Now you got to go into the mix and do the mix and go to the color correction. So now it's a big screen. So now I can see the film, how it was designed, right? For the first time, I'm seeing it on the big screen. And I looked at him and I saw a complete different film, because now I could see all the nuances in the eyes. I could see all the little things that you can't see when you're watching it on a computer screen, right? I could see it all. And I got on the phone with him and I said, my brother, I've never seen anything like this, I can see all those little decisions that you're making, that are in the eyes, that are in the face, and they're in the mouth. I can see it on screen. And I said to him, brother, you're a movie star. You're a bona fide movie star. So you've got your Earth, Miss Loretta, who's the thing that we all revolve around. And then you've got your planets and your stars, you've got Omari, you've got all of this kind of thing that's happening around this amazingly strong woman, She's just, she's, as far as I'm concerned, she's royalty. She's our royalty, you know what I mean? And we should be respecting people like that, and we should be upholding people like that, you know what I mean? And not when it's too late, when they're gone, she's here now. Right. And she's one of the original Dream Girls, look her up online, there's pictures of her with the young Sylvester Stallone. This is our version of Meryl Streep, you know what I mean? This is our version, you know what I mean? And we should be applauding these people, and we should be upholding them. Do you know what I mean? And it's like what's happening with Delroy at the moment. You know what I mean? He's in his 50s. You know what I mean? Come on, this should have happened a long time ago. These people are brilliant. They're brilliant, and they're artists, and they're brilliant at what they do. And we should be respecting them now.
And that was sitting down conversation with the director of Spell. He was really passionate about how because I know his work from Netflix, Lock and Key, and one of my favorite vampire movies, Kids Land. And
TV couldn't get any better. There's Black Film and TV on Xfinity.
He was just saying he was just saying how Black actors don't get those awards. And if you think about it, TR, like you said in earlier, like this might sound bad. I actually separate Black actors Like you got the black actors that get nominated for the Emmys and Oscars, and then you got the ones that get nominated for the BET Awards.
Yeah, that's what I said. I love me some Loretta Devine.
So it just depends on which one you
It's
get
an
nominated.
Oscar winner to me.
Frederick.
Good morning.
Morning. How you doing?
We are well.
Oh, how are you?
Great, great.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and get you introduced to our audience. And we already know, everybody know who you are, but for those that may be in some of those red states, no, no shade. But for those that may be in some of them red states, they might not. So go ahead and introduce yourself to our audience and we'll get right into it.
Thank you so much. I'm always honored to have a chance to kick it with y'all on Rolling Out. We got to keep rolling, so I appreciate you. My name is Frederick Haynes. I'm senior pastor of Friendship West, a Baptist church here in Dallas, Texas. And so, hey, that's about it.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. So Texas, y'all turn red. No surprise, but what's going on in Texas?
Well, I mean, we did, but at the same time, we got to keep in mind that there's a red mirage I want to talk about. That red mirage did everything they could to suppress the vote here in Texas. I mean, from the governor doing his part to making sure that there was only one drop-off mail-in box per county in a state as big as Texas with counties. One particular person had to drive 150 miles one way just to drop his vote off. And so the sad reality is, it's not a red state as much as it is a suppressed state, a voter suppressed state. And so when you have those factors, and then you add to the fact that, you know, Trump only won Texas by 2 or 3 percentage points because the only way they could win was to cheat, was to suppress the vote. What does that say? So I think we need to give a big shout out to all of those organizers, all of those people on the ground who were doing everything they could to make sure that we had a real, honest, democratic election where every vote counted. So we're still fighting for that. We may not have won this battle, but we're on our way to winning the war.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, sir, I respect you. I'm gonna be 100 with you.
Yeah.
I'm honestly at a tipping point right now. And you know, everybody says, oh, it's getting better and stay in the fight and all this other stuff. But what I'm seeing with my eyes, I'm seeing Black women damn near every week being bullied or surrounded by these people who are passionate about their current president, and no one's taking action. What I'm seeing is a constant level of people in pride, and they feeling like me and Portia was talking about this past 3 weeks. You're not just about to walk up on me. That's just out the window. That's not happening. And I'm talking about walk up on me like you're not going to be in my arm space. Walk up on me for no conversation. I'm at a point where that the system is so broken that I can honestly see myself acting. I had somebody tell me yesterday, because I chose to vote on the day of. The reason I chose to vote on the day of is because I wanted to show my peers that not only you can early vote, but hey, we can still get out here and vote.
Right.
If y'all want, I want to just be able to show that. And I'll be honest, I went and voted with the expectations that somebody's gonna say something, somebody's gonna be out of line. But I'm afraid that people are at a point now where it's like I'm not seeing no resolve, so I'm just about to just act out myself. If they gonna act, I'm gonna act right with them.
Yeah. And see, that's real. And as far as I'm concerned, you know, I'm feeling you all the way on that, because you get sick of the mess. Right. You get sick of the games. You get sick of people acting like our humanity does not count. And, you know, I'm with you. One of the things that you know, we ain't playing. And I don't know if you saw this, but they tried some mess in Fort Worth last week when Kamala Harris was there, and Kamala was speaking in the hood. And so some of those folk, you know, with the red around their neck, they tried to come where she was. And we're not having that. And so, you know, that didn't make the news like the Biden bus did. But the bottom line is they know where to go. They know where not to go. This ain't gonna make the news either. But yesterday, you know, some clown came up to Friendship West. You know, we a super voting site, and he had on his MAGA, you know, stuff. And of course, that's illegal. You can't have that once you go up to a voting site. And so we had the brothers right there, and the brothers said, you got to raise up out of here. We're not playing that game. So the bottom line is, you know, that kind of stuff ain't gonna make the news because that's when they look bad. But there are a whole lot of us out here who are saying those days are over. We're not playing this anymore. And if you come for us and we didn't send for you, then guess what? We're gonna send you packing in a way that's gonna hurt your feelings. So the beautiful thing is, I think a lot of us feel like you feel. And now the deal is, okay, so what are we gonna do to harness this fed up energy? And listen, this ain't the first time. Fannie Lou Hamer said, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. So since this ain't the first time we feeling this, let's take that same sick and tired energy and use it like Fannie Lou Hamer did. Because the bottom line is, it's like, I think President Obama said it real well the other day when he was talking to LeBron James. He said, you know what? It's like you win the first quarter, you may lose the second quarter, but the game ain't over. You got to keep playing in the game because what? We ain't losers. Ain't nothing in our genes about losing. And so that's why we got to keep on playing and fighting.
Absolutely.
I'm fired.
I needed that. Thank you.
Hey, listen, I'm with you all the way.
So what do you see happening in terms of us being able to continually to mobilize and get out there post this election, whether or not Biden, whether or not Trump? What do you think that that our community can continue to do that we've been doing now, kind of being conscious about this election?
Yeah, thank you for that, T. That for me is the biggest thing. I've been telling my people, you know, from day one, okay, we got to work real hard for November 3rd. But my real battle is, what are we going to do January 21st? After the president gets inaugurated, what are we going to be doing right then? Because a lot of us forget what, 2008, you know, Obama wins. And so we go to partying. And while we were partying, the Tea Party went to planning, and they took over state houses. They took over drawing lines, gerrymandering. They took over in 2010. And so my thing is, okay, let's plan now. Come January 21st, all that we gonna start taking over, because all politics is local. We got to take over these local we got to plan to have a come to Jesus meeting with the Democratic Party and say, listen, y'all need to come correct with us or we out. We're done with y'all. We're gonna basically keep on organizing without you. You can't win without us. We can win without y'all. We can win on our own terms. So my thing right now is, let's start game planning for January 21st. I'm so proud of all of the organizers. I mean, the organizers kicked behind all over this country. And so my thing is, let's keep working with the organizers, because if we don't win after January 21st, then we've wasted all of this good energy. I'm feeling good about the organizers who are saying, hey, we're going to run this thing ourselves. We ain't waiting on no Democratic Party. We ain't studying the Republican Party. It's about our party. It's about our planning, because the Tea Party already showed us they can do it. The Tea Party did this thing and they set the stage for Donald Trump. Who we gonna set the stage for? That's what we got to do right now.
Who do we look to start the planning? What leadership, what Democratic leadership party do we look to say, hey, where do we start this planning? Because like you said, this January 21st, we need to start, we need to have a plan in place that said, these are the things that we need to do, take over the House, you know, make sure some of these local elections are being handled. How do we begin that?
No, I love that. First of all, for me, I'm looking for, like in Dallas, we got a bad sister named Mercedes Fulbright. She's a local activist. So guess what? Today and Saturday, we're going to have marches and rallies where we are basically talking about what we are doing next, regardless of who the president is. And again, this is a young, super bad sister who basically has said, I ain't waiting on nobody else. And also, I got to give mad shout out to Beto O'Rourke. Beto O'Rourke got no love whatsoever from the Democratic Party, but he made over 5 million phone calls in the state of Texas. And that's why this thing was as close as it was. I'm loving me some Alicia Garza, Black Lives Matter. I'm looking to them now and saying, hey, what can we do to partner, to link up now, to talk about what's going to happen January 21st? We got them all over the country. In Alabama, super bad. Her name escapes me right now, but she made sure that in 2018, that Doug Jones got elected. I don't know what happened this time, but you got some bad sisters and brothers on the ground who are making stuff happen. Let's hook up with them.
So you know what though? But this is what I need though, because me and Tiara was talking about this earlier. If there's gonna be talk, I need an action, and I need that action to happen within the week. Like we've seen people and politicians and activists, we've seen the talk, but we've seen the action maybe a month after the talk. No. You got, like you just said, you got young people, millennials. You got people ready to move now.
Right.
Like. Now. Feed them, like feed that animal now. Like this is what we doing. Go get it.
Right.
That's what I need.
So, like you said, we got bad sisters in Texas. We got bad sisters in California. How do we come under one accord to say we all need to meet up? All these bad people need to meet up, and who's going to lead that charge? Like, how do we get on one accord as a Black community and say these are the things that we need to do?
Right. And so my thing is, I think what you're doing right here in terms of giving a platform, because here's the deal. We ain't going to get this voice on CNN. We can't look for our platform to be fleshed out on MSNBC and Fox News. We got to do it ourselves and take advantage of platforms that we build. And I think that's the key. And that is, okay, what platforms do we have that can link people up so that Mercedes Fulbright and Alicia Garza and Freddie Haynes and we all get together and start to, like you said, because my thing is, Romeo, if we don't have something this week, my thing is we got to have a game plan this week that we get to everybody on all of our platforms that talk about what we are doing next. Next week is too late.
Bingo. That's my man. Yep. Exactly.
My question is, how do we hold the Democratic Party accountable? Because if we are to believe what Ice Cube said, that he went to both parties, so he went to the Democratic Party and he told them to hold off until after the election. CNN political analysts like Angela Rye and other activists around the country tried to hold their feet to the fire to get the Democratic Party to make some concessions and some promises that they would do if Joe Biden wins the election. So after the election is won, if Joe Biden wins, and it's real close, 224 to 213, what can we do to make them? I mean, what hopes do we have after watching election after election after election, where they pretty much, after they win, they throw us up out the car while the car is running, and we're just tumbling down the street? Right. What makes you think they're not going to kick us out the car again?
See, my thing is, they are so vulnerable right now because without us, they lose, period, at the end. And it's like, I don't think we recognize our power. We always overestimate other folks' power and underestimate our own power. We got so much power right now because what will they do if Black folk don't show up for them? What will they do if Black women don't show up for them?
Critical.
Exactly. And let's keep it a buck. When Biden went searching for a VP, Black folk raised hell, especially Black women. And so guess what? He had to select Kamala Harris. That's just one example of the power of the juice we have. But the deal is, we got to drink the juice and exercise that juice if we're going to make them feel the juice. And so the thing is, we got the power. We just got to exercise it. And my thing is, I'm saying this. I would love for us to basically say we want a meeting with Democratic Party officials, local level, state level, national level, as soon as this thing pans out. And this is what we are insisting on, because y'all ain't gonna play us no more.
Well, not to be act like a cynic or, you know what I'm saying, I'm just playing devil's advocate, but the selection of Kamala Harris as the VP is just like in the past with, say, selecting a black woman as the Secretary of State. Colin Powell was Secretary of State. There have been black men and women in power before, and it really amounted to empty, hollow symbolism that amounted to very little because they didn't have the power to act independently on their own. So what does this actually mean moving forward?
Well, for me, it means we got to give them power. I never will forget reading this piece where when Lyndon Johnson said, listen, I don't have the votes and power to get the Voting Rights Act bill right now. We just did the Civil Rights Bill for y'all. We can't do the Voting Rights Bill. That's what he told Martin King. And Martin King said, we're going to have to go give him some power and stir up some stuff down in Selma, Alabama, and we're going to give him some power. And the next thing you know, he gets on TV saying, we shall overcome. Why? Because he was forced to do what Dr. King, John Lewis, Amelia Boynton, Diane Nash, and all of them forced him to do. So the thing is, we got power that we never exercise, and then we let persons get elected who look like us, and we forget to push them to be transformational. Because I'm gonna be real with you, having a black face presiding over a white supremacist system, it don't change anything unless that black face is transformational, because we push them to be transformational and say, you better represent because we got you in here. We got your back to do what you're supposed to do. That's on us. We can make that thing happen.
That's what I was talking. That's what I was talking about. And I meant to say Condoleezza Rice, because she still is a very brilliant Secretary of State, and I think she's at Stanford. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure I mentioned her name. Please continue.
That's real.
Hey man, I like this man. I like this man. Hey, when you running? Do you need me to help?
Man, I want to be your campaign manager. Shoot.
No, you're absolutely right to that point. And maybe you and King James can speak on this, because I had mentioned this earlier. Me and TR had mentioned this earlier, that how I know how the country is. I get it. But watching CNN and watching the red, like I'm watching the red, and in my head, I'm like, what are people actually like? I don't understand. I want to ask them. I really want to ask them in a genuine way. Like, what are you actually voting for? Because economy didn't change. Community didn't change. Jobs didn't change. What are y'all seeing that's missing? Like, that's what's important to me right now. All of these reds that keep popping up.
Well, I'll put it like this. For me, they tell us that racism and white supremacy ain't a deal breaker for them. As a matter of fact, for them, as long as whiteness is preserved, they're good. So you can lie every single time your mouth opens. You can talk about the COVID being a hoax. You can even say, okay, put some Lysol, spray some Lysol in yourself and everything. You can even say, I'm gonna build the wall and make Mexico pay for it. That's a lie. You can have babies snatched from their parents down at the border. None of that matters. And so it just, to me, all goes back to the fact that what he did that was consistent with their values was talk about they're good people on both sides. Proud boys stand back and stand down, meaning I'm speaking my language, my code language, to my white supremacist allies. So as far as I'm concerned, this proved afresh that for them red states, it's a lot of rednecks for whom white supremacy ain't a deal breaker.
So what do we do? Because even if Biden wins, and we pray for that,
he's winning,
it's still gonna be a divided United States of America.
Oh yeah.
What do we do with that? How do we interact? How do I feel safe driving through Georgia, going through South Carolina? What is that going to be like going forward?
Okay, so T, and don't judge me for this, y'all, but I knew y'all asked me this, and so here's my answer. Don't judge me, and that is there is a cold civil war going on right now. I say cold because again, guns haven't, people ain't shooting each other yet, but the bottom line is we are in the midst of a civil war. We got to act like it. We have to act like it, and since we're in a civil war, you got to have what? A battle plan. We don't have a battle plan yet. You've got to basically say, this is how we're going to win the war. These are our generals. These are our colonels. And we have to start acting like, thinking like we are at war, because war has been declared. It's just that, as T.I. said, war has been declared on us and we don't know it.
Yeah, and my problem is, Dr. Haynes, is that if Biden wins, there's almost a fear that sets in me that if he wins, we're just gonna go back to sleep, because I've seen it for decades. And then I've read books where they talked about it in previous decades, you know what I'm saying, where when we get a favorable outcome politically, we just go back to sleep. We don't do anything. And so, it's almost as if I have a desired result, but if that result comes about, something negative is going to transpire afterwards. So how do we combat that? I don't know if you've already answered that.
Right. No, man. I mean, and for me, I think you got to keep asking that, because we got to keep thinking about it. We got to keep discussing it. I had to check myself, because I'm thinking about where I was in 08 at this time. In 08, Obama wins. And so my whole thing is, all right, I got to start planning, my wife and I, what we going to wear to the balls. So while we planning the party, like I said, the Tea Party went to planning. Right. And so my thing is, I don't care what balls they have going on in January. My thing is, we need to be huddling somewhere, planning our game plan, because watch this. In Texas, for example, they're going to be redistricting lines and stuff. And so where are we going to be in that conversation? If we ain't redrawing those lines, then they're going to draw the lines for their benefit. So I don't care nothing about none of them parties right now. All I care about is making sure we draw the lines for a future for our people, because war has been declared. Ain't time to party when you at war.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yes, sir.
Now entering positive thoughts. All of the thoughts that you just shared with us, they positive enough. so we'll let you close it out, Dr. Haynes, but I'll go ahead and start off our positive thoughts. And it really is, y'all. So we can no longer say vote, right? Because the voting is done. But I just want everybody to have a good day. And here's the thing about having a good day, right? If you can't, I stole this from Tabitha Brown, have a good day. And if you can't, don't you dare go messing up nobody else's. That's all I'm going to say. Have a good day. But if you can't, don't go messing up nobody else's, y'all. I'm going to pass the ball to Tiara Berry.
My positive thought of the day is to practice self-care today. It is a lot on our mental health right now. Dealing with this, having these conversations, it can get overwhelming, it can get exhausting, but it's because we're doing something right by being voices and being leaders and making our voices heard as loud as possible. And don't feel bad about anything today, because you are enough. Your vote counted. Your voice still matters. It's going to continue to matter every day moving forward. So I just want to take the time to tell everybody, practice self-care today. Be proud of the decisions that you've made and continue to do the work. And I'm going to pass it over to Romeo.
Dr. Hayes done inspired me. So what I'm about to do right after this, I'm texting everybody in my circle, my crew. My positive thought of the day is plan of action. I don't want to hear nothing that don't got a plan and an action to it. Don't tell me we going somewhere if it ain't no action. Don't tell me we doing this. If it ain't got an action to the plan, I'm finna tell all my crew, leave me out of it. If you gonna plan something, have a real plan of action. And I'm passing it to King James.
Yeah, I just think that these times are mirroring 1964 when Malcolm X was asked, how come you like Barry Goldwater? Goldwater doesn't like you. Goldwater's a racist. Malcolm X said, Yeah, it's a wrong stance, but it's an honest stance. And now I know where they stand. I can negotiate from there. So before we begin to plan, as Romeo is imploring us to do, which we should, we need to take inventory of where we are right now and what this country really thinks about us and where they think our place is in society. So my positive thought of the day is to take inventory of 2020. Really understand where you are so that we can properly plan for the future, as Romeo has admonished our people to do. And I pass the ball to Dr. Haynes.
Man, thank you. Y'all killing it. Y'all killing it. Listen, I guess the best thing I can do is exegete Kendrick Lamar. All's my life I had to fight, but if God's got us, we then gonna be all right. So this ain't fighting ain't new for us. That's all we do. We fight. We know how to fight. And so the thing is, in terms of Kendrick Lamar, if Kendrick is saying all's our life we had to fight, we need to go throughout this day like Ali did when he went to fight George Foreman. He announced every single day by going into training camp, he hit them drums and said, the champ is here. He didn't have the title, but he said the champ is here. And so the reporters said, man, how you gonna say the champ is here and George Foreman has the title? He said, the title is what George has, but the champ is who I am. And so I'm saying to all of us, we are the champs. We don't have the title right now, but we're gonna keep on fighting because all of our lives we've had to fight. The champ is here. Announce it everywhere you go today. The champ is here. And then once you say that, Kendrick Lamar again, he said, but if God's got us, we're going to be all right. This is a spiritual battle. That's why what T said is so cool. You've got to spiritually recharge yourself because the mental attack on our psychic health is for real. But if God's got us, we're going to be all right. So that's my faith that we're going to be all right because we are the champs. The champ is here and we're going to be all right.
I'm coming to service. I'm coming to service.
Man, that's the offering plate, boy.
Yes. Thank you so much, Dr. Hayes, for stopping by the AM Wake Up Show. Y'all, we'll see y'all tomorrow.
Hey, y'all have a great day. I'm gonna make it a point next year. I'm going to drive to one of your services, sir. I'm coming
too.
I'm coming. For real. I need this.
I'm coming.
Right, we're gonna be all right. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
All right.
Let me go turn on CNN and see who else.